Hello and welcome to another episode of Christine's Coloring and Crafts. I'm Christine and I wanted to share something with you guys that I kind of discovered by happy accident, and I'm glad I liked it because I did no practicing beforehand, even though I've got my handy dandy practice sheet. I mean, I did put the colors together, but I was like, nah, these are more for what I had learned. They were for the colors anyway. Were more for what I learned, like pots and excuse me, and vases and stuff like that. That I'd actually gotten off of another YouTuber. And I do apologize beforehand. It has been a while since I made a video. I kind of needed a little break to just kind of focus on work and get better at my new position. So I wanted to make sure I put my full attention on that for now, or at that time. But anyway, we are going to use a 3-color combination of the Holbein pencils. And if you don't have Holbeins, that's fine. You could just try to put together whatever you can using pencils from the sets that you have. But I thought this came out really, really fall-like and really pretty. And I want to kind of dig some more color. The nice thing about Holbeins is they're kind of like the polychromos. You can keep layering and keep layering, and the colors only get richer and prettier, and it just turns out really pretty. So what I did, and I'll leave a link to their channel below if you want to join their channel if you're not members already. It's called Coloring Bliss, and they had done a video on these 3 particular colors for vases and pots and stuff like that. And it's a surprising combo, actually, because it includes a neonish color. And that neon color in the Holbein collection is called Luminous Orange, OP 730. And you can see I've used mine quite a bit. And then we're going to use Brick, OP 97. And then last but not least, we're going to go ahead and use Burnt Umber, OP 180. And today we're coloring in... I'm going to go ahead and put that aside because I'm not going to use it right now. I've been coloring this page from Whimsical Halloween Grayscale Coloring Book by Molly Harrison. And I picked, this is actually my first picture in this book that I'm coloring. Last year when I got the book, there was a page I printed, and I said I wasn't going to color in this book. I was going to print all the pictures over and over because I love them and want to color them over and over. But I decided I'll just go ahead and start coloring in the book. This is the one I printed out last year and colored in it. But I decided I'm going to go ahead and color in the book. And if I want to color the pages again, I'll buy another book. So we're going to start out with an all-over color wash, just light pencil, like light pressure on the using the Luminous Orange from the Holbeins. And I discovered that these make really nice fall leaves, especially in this book. So we do kind of an all-over wash here. And again, I do still have my camera mounted to the table, so it's going to shake a little. I do apologize for that. I just never have found a good workaround. I've tried other things and practice videos, and I just can't get the angle I want. So we'll do an all-over light wash of the Luminous Orange. And it looks really super bright by itself. But as you go over the leaf with the brick, it starts to look a little muddy. So it's going to look a little scary at first and a little like it's not going to work. And that's why I started with really light layers, because like if it's not going to work, I'm going to find some other colors to go over with. But it turns out, at least in my view, it goes over well. And of course, color the leaves however you want, but there is some light grayscaling in Molly's book. And so you can use that, or you can use whatever you want. I kind of do a little bit of both. If I feel like bringing in the grayscaling, as light as it is, I do that. If I feel like it doesn't need to have grayscale in that perfect area, or in that perfect in that precise area, I kind of take it out. And I put a couple of layers of the brick on first before I head on over to our burnt umber. And then I'm going to do the stem, which you aren't going to see very well down here. But then we'll do the veins on the leaf. And kind of use a medium pressure on that because I'm going to go over a couple of times with the luminous in the brick color before I come in with a final burnt umber. And they were, the top leaves were a little bit more difficult because I discovered the Holbeins do not want to work with alcohol markers, an alcohol marker layer, as well as some other pencils. So it's just me mostly experimenting with the Holbeins and seeing how they work on different papers. I'd never used them in a book like this before. I think it's Amazon paper, but I'm not sure. It doesn't feel the same as normal Amazon paper, so. Then we'll put a little bit of brick in here. And then we'll skip over the burnt umber and come back to the luminous orange. And I thought about doing another color and chat with this too, but I'm still kind of focused on work, so I'm not sure if I would be able to finish it. I guess it would make me have to do videos like I like. I do miss making videos. Put a little bit more of this brick in here. And then we're going to come back with the burnt umber. And kind of darken these spaces up a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of darken the edges a little bit to kind of make them separate from the ground and just this leaf in particular. Because it's really sitting in a dark spot. And I want it to kind of stand out from the ground cover that I'm going to do, which will be like a combination of grays and maybe a brown too. I think I'm going to stay with grays though. And then this one came out really super bright too. I didn't get any alcohol marker in this. I don't know why that didn't come out as bright. See, like these guys, like this one, I got a lot of my colorless blender on it by accident. So it's not really coming out like I like it. Whereas the other one here came out really good. And this one halfway decent. And then this one's not as bright either, but it's taken another layer. I love that they take another layer. Let's see what this does here. We're going to pull the brick in a little bit. And this is just a Prismacolor colorless blender. I got colorless blenders everywhere. It kind of lightens up the brick a little bit. I noticed that a lot of blenders do not go well with my Holbeins. Now this one looks like it's going to be super bright. And never mind that we'll be going with an orange pumpkin. The nice thing about these leaves and using the luminous orange is it's going to look vastly different from the oranges, browns, yellows, and maybe a reddish color depending on what I pick for my pumpkin. It's going to look vastly different, so they won't be hidden by the pumpkin at all, I don't think. But I thought, man, when I did that first leaf, I was like, this. So basically, it's someone else's idea, but I'm using it for another object. And here I'm going to go ahead and put in some, what I call put in some grayscale, because I think the bottom of this leaf should be a little bit more darker. So we're just going to kind of put it in there. And while these guys do hold points longer than the Prismacolors, they still are pretty weak on holding points. There we go. After a while. All right, come in with our burnt umber. And I'm not going to bother with the stem or the tail of the leaf in this one because you're just not going to see it with how dark the grayscaling is in the back there. I think the next time I do some leaves, I'm going to try to pick something that's close to these Holbeins, because I know not everybody has Holbeins, not everybody wants Holbeins, not everybody likes Holbeins. So back in the day when I had some money and I really wanted the Holbeins, I can't tell you why, I just really wanted them. I mean, there were a few places, a few channels that, and I mean very few, Holbeins aren't very much used by many people, but very few channels that said they loved their Holbeins, a couple that said they didn't. I really do like them. I prefer them, I would think, after playing with this paper in my books, like my Johanna Basford books, my Hannah Carlson books. I haven't tried them on my Camellia de Erica books, but I have tried them on some of my mythographic type books, and I like them in those too. In fact, I have a book up there. It's just buried under some things. So, that I've been using them in, and I really love using them in that one. But it's been so many months since I've even picked up that picture. I need to finish it. It's so close. Just needs details. When I get pictures like that, or books like that I love, but the pictures are so detailed. Put a little bit more color in there. Get a little bit tired of having to dig into the details. Or I do. Or like some of it's super repetitive and you're just like, meh, after a while. Alright. These are supposed to be like hybrids, like they have equal amounts of oil and wax in them. And I really think that they do lean a little bit more to the waxy side, at least on some of them. Like this luminous orange feels kind of like more like an oily type, you know, like it leans more oil in it. But then the two darker browns, I don't know if you can hear it when I color, they sound like they're sticking to the page, kind of like they've got more wax in them. I'll put a little bit more on here because my first layer barely covered any of the paper. I don't know if you guys can see that on the video, but woo! I was like, man, that was a shoddy job. Shoddy! And this one's going to be pretty bright too. It's got almost no grayscaling in it. So we're just going to do the edges. A little bit here. And of course, I'll add some color down here. Or darker color, I should say. Because I would think this would be a little bit more shadowy than what's pictured. And you can do it too. If you want to, however you want to do it. And of course, we got a little bit of grayscaling down here, and I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that. And I'm using the wrong pencil. I did not realize I picked up the burnt umber. But you know what? We're going to go with it. This one's going to have we're going to make both of them with burnt umber. That's okay. I will get a darker brown later. Actually, you know what I'll use? My Prismacolor black that's sitting over here. Woo, carpal tunnel's kicking in today. There we go. And that's what you gotta do sometimes when you realize, oops, I made a mistake. Oops. I'm still gonna do the stem and just the burnt umber though. And then come back here with the brick and kind of drag it out a little. And it'll look really cute, I think. I'm just gonna go, since I goofed up, I'm gonna go ahead and go in a little bit more heavy-handed. So somebody's tip may break. Holbeins normally don't break very easily, but when I was doing the purples, and since I got a spare of it, where's it at? When I was doing the purples for her outfit, my wisteria breaks really easy. I mean, I barely put any pressure down on that. And the wisteria, just, the tip breaks really super easy. It's the only one I got like that. All right. Let's go back in with our luminous. And sometimes I love happy mistakes because you never know, it might turn out better. I don't think so in this case, but it doesn't look bad either. I have to take a drink. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which type do you like better? I just got to be a little bit more careful because it looks like I did drag out some of the Prismacolor right there, which that's okay. We'll remember to put the Prismacolor on last on the second leaf. Or at least we'll try. But that didn't come out bad at all. Happy little mistakes. Come back in with the brick a little bit. The kind of, there we go. Excuse me. Sometimes I like to have coughing fits. Yeah, you can see that the Prisma got dragged out a little bit, but otherwise it's really not that bad. It's not as bright. It's more like the other ones that were done without making the mistake that didn't turn out as bright. So the nice thing about that is the leaves are going to be turning out different looking. They're not all going to look the same. All right, let's try this one, and we'll do the same thing. But we'll remember to use the Prismacolor last. And that's another good reason to have what I call the messy desk syndrome. In that you have, you know, a couple few pencils on the side here. Like I've got my Lyra Limbrant Splendor Blender, my Derwent Chinese White, my Prismacolor White, and then my Prismacolor Color Splendor, and my Prismacolor Black, although this is more of one of the vintage Prismacolors. That's why it doesn't look the same. It's Sanford. And then for this particular application, since I haven't used it very much in my Highbone, I cannot talk today, guys. I'm sorry. My Holbein Soft White. Cannot talk today. Talking is hard. Especially when you haven't been taking phone calls in a long time as your job. And I will come in here and we'll make the mistake on purpose this time with the burnt umber. And I'm just going to do the edges here. It kind of makes the edges of the leaf more crisper in my eyes. Especially since I'm not going to do a whole lot. There we go. I don't know how much that's going to stand out when I come in with my ground cover colors. And that's why we'll leave the burnt umber hanging around. I'm just going to put a little bit here and a little bit there. And then we'll come in with the brick. Make it kind of stand out. Right here and here. We'll come in with the brick over the burnt umber. It kind of makes the brick a little bit darker, but at the same time, when it comes past the burnt umber, it becomes its own color again. All right, then we'll do this. I love doing leaves. It's so relaxing. It's one of the few things I like to do repetitively is leaves. Now, if there's like 600 of them, yeah, I'm going to get bored. I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, this cannot end soon enough. Soon enough. All right. And in the bottom here, I'm just going to put a little extra burnt umber. And then a little extra right here. Although I'm going a little bit lighter right in these little areas. Then come back with the brick. And I really don't think we need the Prismacolor in this one, because we didn't have so much, like in here we got all that grayscaling, and I went with it, so it kind of covered up the veins a little bit, which I'm going to come back with the Prismacolor on that one. There we go. I think it's coming out pretty good. But I thought, man, I just stumbled right onto that because I was like, I want to use this color combination on something in this picture because it's Halloweeny. Halloweeny. Look at that. You can just put more and more layers down. If you don't like layering, that's okay. You know, just do the one and done. Just go in it with a heavy hand and just be mindful that the tip may break. All right, let's go ahead and get in here with this Prismacolor just in this little middle spot here. There we go. And that is how I discovered a new leaf type color combo. It's very fall-like without being obnoxious like you would think it would be because of the luminous orange. There we go. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this short but brief and fun video. After it's uploaded, I will of course put in the links. But if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. We do have a Facebook group. It hasn't been very active lately, but I'm hoping for Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas we can kind of finally get it going by sharing our lovely colorings with each other. I'll leave a link to that, and then of course, you know, follow me on Instagram and share your stuff with me too, although their algorithm changed, so if I don't see it, I'm sorry. Just let me know that you posted it. You can message me. It's okay. Anyway, thank you for joining me with this video today. I hope you like this color combination. Let me know in the comments below if you would actually like me to go ahead. I mean, I plan on it because I think it would be a good idea with other coloring sets, but if you would actually like the idea of me trying to find colors similar to the Holbein trio to use on leaves and see how that turns out. Otherwise, have a colorific day and a great rest of your weekend, what's left of it, and happy Monday tomorrow. Bye, guys.